next time that you order pineapple pizza, put some brown sugar on top of it. You're not gonna regret it. It's good morning. Recently, I began into a lot of reggaeton, so I've listened to like a lot of badbunny, a lot of Rauw Alejandro, a lot of Anuel double A, or is it Anuel AA, or is it Anuel A? You know what I'm talking about though. Like those reggaeton artists, fire as heck. So I heard some of the songs. I'm like, dang, I can really make beats like these. So I'm gonna show you the beat that I made, and then show you like how I learned to make reggaeton. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. So go ahead and tickle that like button. Go ahead and fondle it. Go ahead and subscribe and comment. It's gonna be good for the algorithm. We almost at 1,000 subscribers, bro. Like, come on now, like go ahead and snap it up. But yeah, fam, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and let's get into it. So just like Afro beats, there's different styles of reggaeton that you could make. You got like the more pop versions, you got the more like Latin versions, like traditional versions. There's probably stuff that I don't even know about for real, but my inspiration for mine is Rauw Alejandro. I heard the song called Inquieto. I'm like, okay, that's similar to my style of music that I make, so I made something in his style. So what I took from him is to have spacious melodies, like some that's more simple, like not too crowded, but still fired up at the same time. And then having some hard-hitting drums, which I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty popular with most reggaeton, is hard-hitting kicks and drums and all that stuff. So definitely gonna have some of that. And then also having some variety in the beats by having different drum sections and having different chops in the beats. So I'm gonna show you what I did. So to start, we have a pad out of sticky. It's getting sticky. We got the pad last one, and here's what this sound like. Literally the simplest chord progression that you could think of. Literally, it's just a C sharp minor chord down to a major chord, down to a B major chord, and then a G sharp minor chord. Literally just triad chords is all you need. Right now I'm working in C sharp minor, so you can see like that's going from a 1 to the 6 to the 7 down to a 5. If you know your chords, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then it's all good. It's just chords in the C sharp minor scale. You can literally duplicate this exact same chord structure in any key, so to make them similar, right? If you want to work in G minor, first I start with a G minor chord, then I'm gonna go down to a D sharp, then an F, then a D, and then make the chord. So we got a D sharp, so we're gonna do a D sharp major chord. We have an F, so I'm gonna do an F major chord. Then we have a D. I'm gonna do a D minor chord. I'm gonna take this down an octave, now see how it sounds. See how simple that was? So for effects, we have on a gross beat on the side chain B preset, and I love this preset for reggaeton beats because it gives it that bounce. When a kick hits, it's going to duck down and come back up, so it's going to be like a sidechain effect with the kick. So if you know me, you know I love to layer, and that's what I did. So I went to Analog Lab, and I grabbed this slime pad out of this R&B bank and laid out the exact same pattern. Here's what that sound like. Just layering pads just help it sound a lot more full. One thing too that I see in some reggaeton songs is like some ear candy in the background. So I thought, okay, maybe I could add like a little bit of a arpeggio in the background. So I went to this preset out of Atmosphere called Dreaming of Airborne Chimes and layered the exact same chords because it's an ARP, so it'll work out perfectly. And here's what those sound like. For effects, we have on a wider to make it sound wider, of course. Then an EQ to cut out a lot of the lows and some of the highs so that's not too harsh. So just by having those three sounds together, we have a pretty good foundation. Here's what those sound like. Okay, so for our next sound, we have this preset out of Sticky called the Key 6 GXD. It's kind of like a piano, but pretty much what I did was that I kind of still layered the same melody, but I wanted to kind of offset it so that I have some more bounce to it. So all that I did was that I took in the same chords and then offset the two top notes in the chord by like 2 spaces. So now we're gonna have this bounce right here. And this works too because, at least for me, in a lot of reggaeton songs, I hear like a bounce where it's like, So for that, just a ROM for some reverb. Next, we got this pluck out of Serum called the String Cheap. And yeah, I layered again, I'm not gonna lie. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, it's a cheat code to layer because you can get so many sounds that sound different but sound good together just by layering, bro. Like, come on now. But yeah, so the exact same pattern, but I played it in like a plucky pattern, so it's not you can see that it's not long or anything like that. And I also play it twice too for some extra bounce. So here's what we get. Just add some more transients to the melody. Now we get into the counter melodies because we don't want the main melody to be boring the whole time. So we got sticky again. It's called the key texture, and we let out this pattern right here. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of use this same structure for a lot of different beats. Delay, da da da, or like da da da. It works. So if it don't work, it works. If it don't break, if it don't work, it fix it. What? If it works, don't try to fix it.
Hang on.
What's the saying? If it worked. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. But for that, just a ROM for some reverb. Nothing too crazy. Then we get this little pluck out of Serum that we gonna play at the end for some more ear candy. Here's what this one sound like. For that, just the EQ to cut out a lot of the lows and some of the highs. So it's gonna sound like a telephone effect. Then next, like I said, my inspiration was the Inquieto song by Rauw Alejandro. And he had like a spiccato or staccato string playing in the background for some of the parts. So I want to expand and I grabbed the spiccato up preset and laid out this pattern right here. This is actually very similar to the string pattern in the song. Next, we have a synth bass out of Serum, which I think that synth basses are pretty popular in reggaeton beats. It's like pretty good for a bridge or for an intro to the beat. So here's what this sound like. I love adding these like little slide notes and synth basses, especially when it's coming back down to the first note of the melody. Then to finish off the melody, we have a vocal chop out of this FL Cloud preset. I just pushed it down by 2. So here's what this one sound like. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really hear too much vocal chops and reggaeton beats, but you know me, I love to add vocals in my beats, so that's why I put it in. Usually if it's like a vocal in a reggaeton beat, I think that it's kind of like more in the background and not really choppy. It's more like long phrases, if that makes sense. So here's what the melody is sounding like right now. Now let's get to the drums. So I'm actually using 2 kicks for this beat. I felt that one kick is like the reggaeton kick, and then one is like to add some more punch to it. We got this kick first. Very simple 4 on the floor kick. And then we have this kick right here. It just feels like a lot more punchy to me when you do it like that. Next we have the OG reggaeton snare bounce. Then we got some snare accents that I like to use for some extra bounce. And this right here. That's actually a pretty common bounce, having the we got some hi-hat rolls. Then I have a bass one shot that I got out of FL Cloud, which sounds like this. So that's the first section of the drums. Now we get into a beat section because, like I said, I think that's good to have some variety in your reggaeton beats so that's not boring the whole way through. So first I started off with this snare that hits like this. Then I added on a kick that hits like this. I wanted this section to have a different feel, so that's why I added on a more rounded kick rather than like a slap reggaeton kick. Next, I added on a different snare for some more layering. I added on a simple hi-hat bounce, and I just took down the velocity of every other hi-hat, so it sounds like this. I added on some extra accent snares, and I'm not gonna lie, I think that accent snares help your melodies a lot. Whether you make a reggaeton, trap, R&B, just having accents in the background of your drums adds a lot more bounce. Yeah, that definitely adds to the sound for real. Next, we have the same bass one shot, but this one's a different pattern. Here's what that one sounds like. This is actually a pretty common bass pattern for a reggaeton beat. It'll hit on one, and then skip one, and then hit again, like the dun, rest, dun, like that. So that's the beat section right there. And pretty much I use this section for a bridge from the chorus to the first verse, and then also a bridge from the verse to the chorus again. So now we get into the extras. I'm not gonna lie, I love to use fills in Afro beats, and reggaeton is pretty similar to Afro, so I added in a lot of fills in it. So we got something like this. I think that by having fills in your beats, it helps add a good transition and just some more dynamics in your beats. We got some crashes, of course. Just add some more impact on the one. Now, like I said in the beginning, I often hear a lot of chops in the drums for reggaeton beats. So when I say chops, I mean stuff like this. That stuff just adds a lot more energy to your beats. So that's it for the beat. So I'm gonna show you what it sounds like. But before that, thank you if you made it to the end of the video. Hopefully you liked it, learned something from it, and enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and tickle that like button, comment, subscribe, follow my Instagram at Estilo Rauw. I'm probably gonna do a R&B club type beat, like a LA Mai or Jacquees type of beat. So I'll be looking forward to that. But yeah, make sure that you're drinking your water, staying safe out here, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.
It's tear time.